Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the character sketch of Antonio in the play The Merchant of Venice. Antonio. Antonio is a wealthy Venetian merchant, a devoted Christian, and a beloved friend of Bassanio. He is melancholy and sad. In the very opening scene of the play, Antonio says, "In sooth, I know not why I am so sad." The above few words explain clearly Antonio's melancholy and his real nature. Antonio himself doesn't know why he is sad, although his friends suspect that his sadness may be due to his failing in love with somebody or maybe due to his anxiety for his merchant ships. He lacks interest in life in general, like other characters surrounding him. Antonio has no fun element, no enthusiasm regarding anything. Passive character. He is the central character but remains static throughout the play. When Bassanio points out the evil motive of Shylock behind the bond, Antonio does not seem to believe or care at all for it. On the other hand, he blindly signs the bond probably because he is unduly confident that he will be able to pay off the petty loan in time to Shylock. Even in the court, when everybody is mad with anxiety about Antonio's fate, which really trembles in the balance, he does not bother at all but stands perfectly calm and indifferent to the coming calamity. This is, of course, an extreme attitude of indifference, of passivity to the world. Even when the court declares the decree in favor of Antonio, he remains perfectly cool and indifferent, and he speaks only when the court invites him to speak. This is another instance of supreme passivity. When in the last scene of the play, both Portia and Nursia quarrel with their husbands for their rings, Antonio simply says in a tone of passive grief, "I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels." Antonio signs the bond blindly just because his love for his friend Bassanio. A true friend. Antonio's love for Bassanio is deep and unconditional. Antonio knows that Bassanio is a reckless waster of money and that he has taken loans of money from him several times. And yet, when Bassanio approaches him again for money in order to go on his love mission to Belmont, Antonio at once says to him that his purse, his very life, and all his resources are at his disposal. And not only that, but he says to Bassanio that he is at a full liberty to collect money from anybody in Venice on any terms. Even when Antonio is prosecuted on account of the failure of his bond, and when he has lost all his fortunes, he never disturbs Bassanio at Belmont. He just writes to Bassanio, "If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter." Then again, when Antonio's fate is trembling in the balance and when practically the lawyer has made it perfectly clear that Antonio will have to give a pound of flesh from his breast, how pathetically he bids Bassanio farewell. "Give me your hand, Bassanio, fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you." All these words bring out the warmest heart of Antonio for Bassanio. Just before he bids Bassanio farewell, he speaks a few words which also bring out his sincere love for Bassanio. Mark what Antonio says to Bassanio: "You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph." How many people in the world can speak such words as Antonio speaks just at the moment when he is leaving the world? Is it not sufficient proof of Antonio's ideal love and friendship for Bassanio? Yes. Antonio proved that he is a true friend by following this verse in the Bible. "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." John chapter 15 verse 13. Yeah, Antonio proved his true friendship with Bassanio by following this verse. A good Samaritan. Antonio is a good Samaritan. It means those who help a stranger without expecting anything in return. It derived from the parable of Good Samaritan, a parable told by Jesus in the Gospel of Luke that includes the teaching of Christ in the New Testament, telling the origin, birth, death, and resurrection of Christ Jesus. Antonio helps by saving them from the clutches of Shylock, one of the reasons Shylock hates him for. Antonio gives money without interest and always helps his friends with what he has. Thus we called him a good Samaritan. His communal bias. Antonio hates Shylock simply because Shylock lives on usury. But Antonio, like all other Christians, is intolerant of the Jews as the communists are intolerant of the capitalists. We are told by Shylock that Antonio had been abusing Shylock in public places and calling him a dog and spitting on his bird and his Jewish dress. Even while Antonio begs a loan from Shylock, he talks in the same abusive tone and flares up at him like a person who has no self-control. I am as like to call thee a dog, so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. This intolerance of Antonio is nothing but his communal bias against Shylock. Thank you.